You guys, I learned how to make shorts.
Ooh.
So I can make shorts of our Everything Under the Suns. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Under the Sun, where we talk about anything and everything. Okay, Jenna Marie brought all the topics to the table this week, and so I'm gonna maybe you should just lead us.
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
I'm down. Well, I figured we should open with the Gemini full moon, especially since it just happened. So as close as possible to the Gemini full moon. Discuss immediately.
Okay. So what degree is the sun and what degree of the moon right now?
13 degrees. And it's actually really cool because this full moon, it's an opposition. And what's squaring the full moon also at 13 degrees are the nodes, the transiting nodes of the moon.
Yes.
So we have this power packed.
Oh, it's cross.
Wow. So the sun is at 14 Sag, the moon's at 14 Gemini, and then the nodes are at 14 Pisces Virgo. Wow, that is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Okay.
if you use the Washington D.C. chart, which is what I do, they're all at 13 degrees.
Okay.
The nodes and the sun and the moon. It's a grand
Yeah.
cross. Exact.
Sabian wise, you would round up though. For Sabians, right? Sabian symbols.
Oh, if you do the Sabian symbols, yeah.
So what are the Sabian symbols of the sun at 14 Sag? What is it? Do we know?
That's a good question.
Hold on. I think I can. Hold on. If I look at. Sometimes it'll work if you just click it. Let me see.
I found it.
You did.
It might not be the full one, but it just says from the cosmic perspective on the one that I pulled up.
I
So
see
does it? Sorry.
the pyramid and the Sphinx.
Pyramid and the
That's
Sphinx.
13 to 1359. And then 14 is the groundhog looks for his shadow.
Oh my God. When the Sabian symbols mean nothing to you.
I think we should go with the pyramids and the Sphinx because that's between 13 and 14.
Yeah, I agree. And it's nice that the cross is making like the base of a pyramid too.
Yeah. I've gotten out my physical body to look at what's going on in the bodies of mankind because that's always how I have to understand stuff first.
And then, from this chart, I get a lot about how are we handling our intense emotions. You know, there's a question there. Yeah, Mars is in Sagittarius. It's squaring the Saturn and the Neptune, and so to me, that's like, are we testing our faith?
Yeah, I can see where testing faith would be very full moon in Sagittarius, especially. Okay, here I got my body system drawing. So the sun in Sagittarius would be like all yellow and blonde, like the leaves get all yellow during the sun in Sagittarius. It's like the winter fire months where we're all optimistic. And then the Gemini would bring a bunch of air to the throat chakra. So it'd be like really optimistic, but also very talkative. There'd be like a lot of talking or something like that. I mean, seems like a Gemini moon would be a very talkative version of a Sagittarius day. Like, very cerebral.
Yeah.
Have you guys looked at the full moon tonight?
The full, yeah, actually, I did a whole thing because it was the other day that I have a friend of mine who does full moon and new moon ceremonies, and so that's why I did a whole thing on this about it. So I was looking at it to see what it was. I did get to see it yesterday. Actually, you could see it right. I know it's gibbous still, but it's there. It was, yeah.
I made a point of staring at it at 6:14. Be like, what's up, moon?
Here on the West Coast, it just got dark and it's rainy. It's a very rainy full moon, which I guess that checks out.
Yeah.
It is very rainy.
Private in its North Node in Pisces maybe for the rain.
It's melancholy and gloomy here today.
Just like a moon in Gemini, you know, just kind of like, you know,
No.
but you know.
Can't make up its damn mind.
Yeah,
I'm
make up
going to
its mind.
communicate telepathically during this whole live stream because the Sabian symbol for 14 Gemini is two people living apart in telepathic communication.
Cool.
Live into it.
Mm-mm.
Well,
What do you think? What do you think about the nodes on the angles on the midheaven and the IC?
Wait, JC, what were you going to say? And then we can answer
I'm
that.
sorry.
oh, well, I was going to say that yesterday, because the tide was so high because of the full moon, where I live, it's noticeably higher when there's a full moon. And look, I went out kayaking behind my house where sometimes it looks like a field there. Like we were in a field the other day, Jenna.
Yeah.
And then it looks like a lake.
Dang.
It's out of bounds.
It is.
The moon and the Mars are out of bounds.
What's that mean?
It means it's outside of the ecliptic allowance. So it was actually higher in the sky,
Mhm.
and it's like I'm here. And it's kind of like they're renegades.
It's like
Renegade
it's not
planet.
under the sun's authority. It's being wild.
Oh. Okay, so what do we think of the square to the nodes? Like, what about, because it's in the bends of the node, right? Like when you're square to the nodes, they call it in the bends. What does that mean?
I've heard it called the skipped step, and I know that that's very controversial in evolutionary astrology circles, but it's kind of like the thing you have to address before you can really step into your power, before you can really actualize or evolve and take the gifts of your past and your purpose and meld them together.
Well, okay, so if I think about it, like, okay, so the North Node and the South Node are kind of like a karmic evolution point. So we're supposed to like kind of evolve into one and out of the other. So that's the Pisces Virgo axis. So we're like trying, it was the North Node in Pisces.
Mhm.
Okay, so we're
Yes.
trying to evolve out of a very particular kind of perfectionism standpoint into like a more spiritual standpoint. But then the Sag and the Gemini at the bends would be like, do we talk about it? That's Gemini, or do we go on an adventure about it? Do we go for gnosis, which would be an experience with Sag, or do we talk about it? Like, so I feel like it's like we're still trying to go towards the North Node, but then the Sun Moon kind of bring us to this like two sides of how that could be going. I'm just thinking, I don't know.
I like that because I could see Gemini falling into that more Virgo trap of like, well, do I have enough data points? Can I keep searching into this? And Sagittarius being like in a negative, falling into that way, being like, well, is this theory actually accurate? Have I properly assessed my philosophical understanding of this? But then Pisces is kind of asking us to like let go of that. Like, don't get caught up in those Gemini details, but also Sagittarius, don't fool yourself that, you know, there's always something better out there.
It's so interesting that Gemini and Virgo are Mercury ruled and Jupiter and Sag are Jupiter ruled. Like, or I'm sorry, Pisces and Sag are Jupiter ruled. So we have like go towards the Mercury side of the equation or the Jupiter side of the equation. It's like,
Yeah.
But in the sky, Mercury and Saturn are trining each other. So they really are trying to work together.
Mercury and Jupiter?
Sorry, Saturn, but also Jupiter. But
oh, okay.
but yeah, we do mean Jupiter. Sorry.
Yeah.
Shadow of Mercury retrograde.
All of that Sagittarius stuff, you know, it's funny. The Sun is actually in the very midpoint between the Venus and the Mars. It's like a sun sandwich, you know, and it's all trining that Neptune Saturn stuff. So it's like, yeah, philosophies and belief systems and everything else. I think that South Node is actually kind of grounding, being in Virgo at the bottom of the chart and everything. I wrote a little thing here. It says, there is no grounding unless we look back to our past in finding practical answers to our deepest questions.
So what does a full moon mean in general? I mean, it's a culmination point, right? Like if we take the new moon part of a cycle as like a new beginnings. So the new beginnings would have been, I think it was at the end of Scorpio when the new moon happened, but like there was like a new beginning. And now what's the full moon part of that equation?
it's like did you make something out of it? Did you do something with it? Did you come with some kind of compilation? Did you come to some apex in your wanting of your manifestation? It's manifestation. It's about trying to manifest something that you had a dream in during 2 weeks ago during the new moon phase.
I like the word involvement for it too, because it's like you really, especially because it's like the brightest part of the cycle, you can't help but be out there and interacting and involved. So whether you're involved in some sort of crescendo or manifestation of your dreams, or you're involved with, communicating that, especially under this new moon, what you've been doing, it feels very interactive.
Yeah.
I mean, from a bodily perspective, it like pulls at the tide, like that you're not really supposed to like operate under a full moon because people can start like the waters of the body are like pulled to the hilt or something like that. Like, so it's like the human form could be like pulled out to its most expressed form and under the full moon, because there's the full light of the sun and then the moon is bouncing all that sunlight. It's like the full light of the moon. So are we like more expressed during a full moon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Like it's a consensual pushing to your limit, because like you have that drive within you to be expressed and expanded and to come to your highest fruition. So it's almost like no wonder the darkness starts returning after the full moon, so that we can kind of recuperate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Have people been talking a lot today?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I had to.
For your job?
Yeah.
Did it feel painful, or were you like, I have all the chi to talk today?
It didn't feel painful, but there was this moment where it felt kind of awkward because I had to drive a long distance with somebody that, and like make small talk a little bit, but yeah.
Wait, this whole thing is square your Mars and Pisces, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Did you wish you were dressed as a clown?
I mean, no. It hadn't occurred to me, but now in retrospect, that may have made today less. It just felt kind of heavy emotionally to me. I mean, yeah, gloomy. That's all. That's kind of the word that I have for today.
Yeah, Sun and Moon square Mars would be a little bit aggravating, honestly. Like it wouldn't be the easiest version. So what's it hitting in people's chart? The 14-degree mutable. What's it hitting in your chart?
It's near my 16-degree Gemini moon.
Oh, it's super close. It is spot on your moon, actually. I mean, the 2-degree orb is, I mean, the sun's within a 2-degree orb. So like, yeah, your Grand Cross is on fire right now.
Yeah, I was trying to slow down, but I couldn't. So
yeah, someone's like, meditate and stop all your thoughts. You're like, I'm in a Grand Cross. Like,
let me just do 5 things.
Yeah. Your Grand Cross is really compelling to me. Like, I'm just like, I want to see you surge on that thing.
Well, get ready.
I'm looking at it right now. Jay-Z, what's it hitting for you?
Well, nothing really if it's still back there at 13, right?
Well, it's hitting your Mercury Pluto. Don't you think it's an orb?
Well, I don't know. That's not till like 17, 18, right? So
yeah, but we work with like an 8-degree orb.
I guess so. Then yeah, I mean, yeah, my Mercury is in Pisces and Pluto's in Virgo over there. So yeah. Interesting. Yeah, it is interesting with the nodes thing. Thinking about that, how I liked how you did say it from like the one side of kind of like perfection over to the other side, moving towards the more dreamy, magical part. So yeah, for me that would be moving from Pluto over to Pisces, from my Pluto over to my Mercury. Yeah, I guess I'm having trouble articulating.
Yeah, you kind of get in those moods with your Mercury Pluto where you get like so intense mentally that you almost don't even want to talk or something. You just want to like focus or something.
Yeah, it is really weird. So what I've been doing this week is I'm in the middle. Actually, I'm in the middle right now of a hacking competition. It's like a whole week long one, and it's a pretty serious one. Like this one's hard. Like usually I'm in the top 3 or whatever, but here I'm maybe gonna be in top 10, but I don't know. Like I'm at 12 right now, and I don't know.
What's
It's
the
tough.
competition? What is it?
It's a hacking competition. It's like a cybersecurity challenge. It's called Capture the Flag. And so what it is like they have these challenges where they put out servers that like they have a flaw on them that the designers know about, and you have to figure out what the flaw is, and you have to be able to hack your way onto that server. And it's called Capture the Flag because once you're there's usually like a file that's called flag.txt, and you have to find the file and look at its contents and know its contents to be able to prove that you were there. Anyway, so
That
I'm kind
sounds
of like
intense.
really absorbed in this, and I'm trying to like pull myself out to the surface here.
Is there a prize?
Oh yeah, there are prizes, and oftentimes it's just bragging rights, but this one has prizes.
Yeah, I find that your Mercury Pluto, that's one of the things it's really good for is like hacking. It's like mentally really intense, but like when it comes down to like light chit chat, it's not super into light chit chat. And so it's like, that's why we say some aspects are good for some things, but they're not good for everything. And it's like you need a shirt that's like I'd rather be hacking.
Yeah.
Dude, it's hitting my moon square Neptune. Okay, so my moon's in Pisces in the 10th, and it's square Neptune at 14 Sag in the 7th. And like, okay, so that's totally my production square. Like it wants to make movies out of everything. Like, and I know this because when Saturn went over it, we turned from a Facebook channel into a TV station, basically, because as Saturn went over it, like that's just what happened. And so anyway, today, literally, I figured out how to make shorts like today or yesterday, and I've never been able to do it. And I made shorts, and like one of them got 1,130 views, and like,
whoa,
dude. And so it's like we're like game on here with the station, but it's like with the square, it's like that where it's like it's like a tension point, and then it like rips through. You know what I mean? So I think. And then Jenna made that movie yesterday that was so awesome. And then we talked about making movies today, Jenna. It's like I go into like movie production with my moon square Neptune. It's like a lot of that. And so there was like movement on that area. And then also my daughter has her Mercury square Uranus right on my moon square Neptune at 14, 14, 14, 14. And so we had that all week long. So we were like, we like went to the lights where we sang the whole Partridge in a Pear Tree song to the Christmas lights as we walked. And then we put up a tree last night. We were just like, so I also did like a lot of extreme mothering this week. And so anyway, I feel like I really hit that thing hit my square.
Yeah.
I was thinking about the skits that you guys do. You know what I would love to see? I would love to see for you guys doing a skit based on like a singer-songwriter song. Like, like there's a story with it.
Like a music
Jay-Z, yeah, Jay-Z, what do you think?
Like a ballad or no?
Oh yeah.
I got my year of YouTube videos. I think that's under the music channel. Like you can do, but we've been doing a lot of riffing on "She Talks to Angels" because that's Jenna Marie's like song.
Yeah, that was good.
"She Talks to Angels," and Jay-Z's gonna do "She Talks to Angels" now. Anyway,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Debbie, what's it hitting in your chart?
It's got a little bit ways to go. It'll be hitting my my midheaven and my IC. That'll be getting there, and then of course then the ascendant and the descendant after that. So yeah, maybe tomorrow.
Wait, do they go? Which way do they go? Do they go clockwise or counterclockwise? Are they like going from 17 down?
Depends on what you're talking about. Are you talking about diurnal motion or zodiacal motion? They go.
I mean the nodes. Are they going up or down?
Oh, they go retrograde, so they're always retrograde pretty much. So they will be, they'll be going backwards.
Mhm.
Down in numbers. So from
Yes.
17 towards my stuff, that's all right, I get it. Oh no, it's the opposite. All right, anyway. Thank you. I understand your answer.
Can we use the full moon to notice synastries, like that Laurel's Mars in Pisces is on Jenna's Grand Cross? What do you have in Pisces in your Grand Cross?
Me, Jupiter,
Jupiter. At what degree?
22.
Oh, 22. So it's a little bit later than Laurel's Mars. Okay.
My ascendant is 22 Taurus. And then I also have, I have Saturn and Venus conjunct at 22 Gemini. Interestingly.
And I have my Mars at 23, 23 Pisces, and I have my Mercury at 22, 30 minutes of Virgo.
Dang, mutable pileup at the everything under the sun here. You guys have a mutable square pileup. Jeez.
Yikes.
Well, your Venus Saturn conjunction is square mine.
Are they at 22?
Yeah, mine are at 27
Okay.
in Pisces.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
Venus is separating, but thankfully. But they're both 22.
Wow, interesting. Right
Yeah.
on.
Wow, so there's a big mutable pileup, and like Debbie's Mercury opposed Mars at 23, right?
23, and yes. 22
So it's right in Jenna Marie's like Grand Cross.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow. And it's kind of lines up with Jay-Z there. Wow, okay.
We need a 5-wheel.
Oh my God, we need 30 wheels. No, I'm just kidding. So Jenna, you don't get overwhelmed by like 40 wheels, huh?
I love wheels on top of wheels on top of wheels. Mostly because, like, hear me out, guys. So, like, when you have a transit and you're like, oh, I want to look at exactly when this planet's touching my planet. Oh, but it retrogrades back over and then it crosses again. And you just want to look at all those juicy details, every hit all at once. And then what if you get 5 hits? And you have to look at those.
Dang.
And stack them and see what the common theme is. Like, is Mars always kind of pointing to something every single time, even though it's not the focus, you know?
Debbie, how many wheels do you put on a chart when you?
I don't like to do the bi-wheel kind of thing. I do like I'll do up to 6 charts on one page. I could do different charts, but I don't like to pile them on top of each other. I like to have them separate, and because I like to see where the ascendants and the midheavens are on each of those as well. And then it's, I used to do that all the time, Jenna. I used to do those by wheels and then wheels on wheels on wheels. And what it is good for is great because you can just kind of line it all up. I'm like, oh, this is right here. This is here. This is here. This is here. Oh yeah, I could see how that is. But I like to see the full charts, and I just kind of compare them to the natal chart.
Wait a minute. Debbie, when you do that and each chart has its own ascendant in the right place, then you have to kind of spin them in your mind to lay them on top of each other, right?
That's where my Mercury in Virgo comes in. I like that. I like that challenge. I like that kind of stuff. I like things messy. I like to, kind of,
My Mercury's in Cancer, so I'm like, everybody hug. Okay.
Yeah, it gets confusing to me when the ascendants aren't lined up, and you have to be like, all right, this, but that to this one,
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, GZ, you'd be interested in this as a computer programmer. We were talking about this week at school. We were talking about like how many wheels is too many wheels, and like how much data is too much data. And we kind of talked a lot about how it's like noise in computer programming, where what's noise in computer programming?
Well, I'd say that I'd take a step back and say there's a difference between data and information. So data is like a whole bunch of numbers and metrics, right? But information is actually telling you something. So it's like, how do you get from data to information?
Yeah.
But then what's noise then?
Oh, and then noise is always, there's like the opposite of noise is signal. So it's like when the signal to noise ratio is too low, then it's hard to make any conclusions out of it because there's too much noise and not enough signal.
That's like when the dog is barking and I'm trying to look at something. That's the noise that I hear.
The chaos and confusion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think we like ended up comparing it to like an architectural document where we are saying, basically, like if you have, can you have too much information on an architectural blueprint? And we decided, like, if it got so much that you couldn't read anything, like all the numbers were on top of each other, then that would be too much information. That happens in charts where it's like now we have asteroids and trans-Neptunians and all this kind of stuff. But if there's a lot of information on the document, then different architects can look at it for different reasons. Like one person wants to look at the kitchen sink on the 3rd floor, and one person wants to look over on the 1st floor. And like if you have a lot of data, that doesn't preclude using it as information, but people do get overwhelmed by the noise. And I think that's one of the problems with astrology is all the overwhelm.
Yeah, on Solar Fire, you could put everything on there. I'm like, what is this? It's just, it looks like a rug. I mean, it doesn't even have any, it's just too much information.
It looks like a rug.
But you know what? There are times when if you're working on a chart, I like to minimize it too. I think I put maybe the part of fortune and Chiron. Other than that, I just keep it clean with just the regular planets. But say somebody has something like they have this particular health issue or something, and it's like in their 6th house and everything. I may add in Hygeia, the asteroid Hygeia. There was somebody who had some sort of financial thing. I looked up some of the Arabic lots, and there was something about abundance or something. So, it's like, I don't add that stuff on. That's like a ribbon on top of the package. You want, whatever's inside, you want it to be clean and be able to understand what it is before you put the ribbon on it. That's the way this is my just opinion.
That would be a fun conversation. Like, what do you add other than just the planets? Like, it's interesting. Like, it gives me a vibe like, oh, you use the part of fortune pretty consistently. That's an interesting, like, I hardly ever do. So that's very interesting.
Do you guys want to talk about that? Or do you want to go on to ritual versus routine?
Either way.
Yeah, either
I'm
way.
open.
Let's go to ritual versus routine and then come back to what do you add to the chart. Because
Sure.
I like ritual routine because it's not like an astrological topic. So Jenna wants to know, what's the difference between ritual versus routine?
I mean, there's a lot of crossover. However, I think that with ritual, that there's intention involved, and it doesn't necessarily have to. I think oftentimes we think of ritual as like having a spiritual component, but I think it can look exactly like routine, except for the intention that's infused. And because I think of routine as kind of just being like on autopilot, and it's something that you do every day without really thinking about it. But you could make it into ritual just by like infusing it with intention. And
oh my God, that's great. That's great. Yeah, that's a great explanation about that.
I really like that intention. Go ahead.
All my rituals are routines. All my routines are rituals, I guess. That's the Mercury, that's like the, the Virgo stuff I have in there. It just is, it's, everything is like I have to have a routine with everything. It gets kind of boring though. It's nice to have a different ritual or do something, add something into it.
Is there something sacred about rituals? Like,
I guess you can make it sacred. It doesn't have to be, but I don't know.
I think there is.
Well,
Go ahead.
You tell us, since it's your question.
Well, I didn't really have an answer to it until I asked, and then I saw it on the agenda, and then I was like, okay, I better come up with an answer. But this was like an argument actually at a new moon gathering I was at over the summer when, feisty, these women.
Oh, argument at a new moon ceremony.
I
Whoa.
know.
In Aries. No, I'm just kidding.
I should check. It might have been. But someone was saying that they like have all these rituals in the morning when they're brushing their teeth and all this stuff. And another person was like, that's just a routine. And it was very like, ooh, which is which? And it's kind of been on my mind for a while. And the person who said it was like, the original person was like, I just add magic to my routines and then they're rituals. And that was so perfect, because it's like she's intentionally anchoring her consciousness in this like magical way to put all that intention into what she's doing.
Yeah.
So I looked it up. Rituals are religious or solemn ceremony consisting of a series of actions performed according to a prescribed order. And it's relating to done as a religious or solemn rite. But a lot of people would say that smoking their cigarette is a ritual.
I mean, it kind of is. Like, first of all,
I think that's why it's so hard for people to quit, because they view it that way.
Yes.
Yes. Because it does seem like, with a ritual, you're more invested in it. And by the way, Jenna, it sounds like that second person is just like a killjoy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I should show you their chart.
Anytime people like make something like this lofty thing, or it's like inaccessible, or it just makes me want to like tear that apart. And ritual's accessible to everybody, and whether they know it or not, I think there's I can't even think of a single routine that I have, honestly.
Well, okay, so like I have this sage at my desk, and I like light it sometimes, but I don't think I light it ritualistically, because I just light it when I want to fidget with something. Like I'm not like lighting it and being like, God, please take from me my problems, and you know what I mean? Like, so like when is lighting sage a ritual, and when is it just a fidget? Debbie.
So every 2 weeks, I meet up with my friend. She is a spiritualist, and she has a moon. It's called a sound bath. But it is for me a ritual. You know, she asks everybody in the group, what is your ritual? My ritual is coming to your thing and doing this. And I always do some sage, or I do Palo Santo, and then I actually have other things too. I have crystal bowls, and I have steel drums, and I use them during the ceremony, or I do like just drawing or writing, and it is something very soothing. It is the ritual I do every 2 weeks with her. That's why I might have seemed very chill on Tuesday, because I had just done the ritual right before I got on with you guys. And so for me, it is a ritual, and my other things are just routines. I don't consider her a routine. I think of that as a ritual. But it was interesting to hear you guys talk about your perspective on it. You know, it's interesting.
My friend Jensen wanted to be here tonight, but she has a Leo stellium and she's not quite ready for this amount of visibility in her life. But she said something amazing, and she's looking forward to the replay on this. She said, ritual changes routine. It makes the mundane magical.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Patrick says ritual and ritualistic are related but not the same. If you do something out of habit, it ceases to be a ritual, even if the result is affecting. So if something becomes routine, does it cease to be a ritual? Because a ritual is supposed to be like solemn and reverent, and like if you do a routine, you're just like, I'm just brushing my teeth, you know, like
if you're absent-minded, I think. Yeah. If it becomes a ritual or a routine in which your mind isn't fully engaged. Like when I brush my teeth, I think about my Hygeia placement that's in Gemini. And I'm like, this is how you prevent dis-ease. You have to take care of your Gemini functions. You have to engage this. And I think about Hygeia and really call that in. That is a ritual to me. You know what I mean?
So it's about awareness. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and like the level of consciousness with which you're engaging whatever the practice is.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I think, yeah, if you do things routinely, like without thinking, then it's maybe you wouldn't consider it a ritual. But if you do things every day, but you do them with thoughtfulness, then it definitely, to me, is a ritual. Like I write in my journal every single day, and that to me is a ritual, and it's not a routine that I happen to start my day by writing in my journal, you know? But also, Debbie, I have to say I disagree with your the way that you are is like, oh, I get bored with things doing the same thing over and over, and then it gets boring. And to me, I love doing the same thing over and over and over again. Like,
Well, what I'm
no
talking
change.
about is like brushing your teeth. It's boring. There's nothing exciting about brushing my teeth. That's what I'm talking
Well, unless you're doing it with Hygeia, and then it's really exciting.
about. But no, I mean, when I get bored, I don't get bored for most of my things that I do. I mean, astrology, I'm never bored with. Being with my, doing this stuff, I never get bored with this kind of stuff. But like, I'm just talking about and yes, awareness can be a ritual. I guess if you're awareness and you're brushing teeth, but I can't say that I get very excited about that. Can't say that I get very excited about washing the dishes, although I do find awareness in it. And I think that for me, it is like kind of like it's not a ritual. It is, it's a routine. But yeah, so for you, Jay-Z, that's great that you can make everything it's never boring. Nothing's boring for you. That's great.
If I guess what I feel is like if I make it into a game or a meditation, then it's fun. Like, so for washing the dishes, I'm a Pisces, so I love water, and then I love warm soapy water because it's really fun and enjoyable, and like to feel your hands in the warm soapy water. It makes doing dishes fun if you remember to think of like, oh, how do I make this into a game?
I do that kind of, and it's not the water, but I love my plates. They're beautiful. And I like to feel them as I'm washing them and everything. So I'm aware in that sense, but I still can't say I get very excited about it. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. I don't
I
know.
like the sensory that you guys are going for, like the sensory experience as like a bridge to making something ritual.
It is
Yeah.
your Saturn Venus.
What did you say, Laura?
Oh, I was thinking of Saturn Venus and as far as Jay-Z as well, in relation to what you just said.
Oh yeah, right. Interesting. Yeah, I legit do make everything into a meditation. Like I have this new meditation. It's a 5-minute meditation. I'm doing it twice a day now. And it's called Watch Michu, who's the cat. Watch the cat eat.
Oh.
So I put her saucer down with her food on it, and then I stare at her while she's eating. And the game is, if your mind starts to wander, bring it back to only watching the cat eat. And it takes her about 5 minutes.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Well, so you guys are making me think that, like, okay, if I attach some solemn, reverent thing to my lighting of sage, like every time I light sage, I make a gratitude list as it burns. Now it's become a ritual, right? Like now I ritualistically light this and say I'm grateful for Jenna, I'm grateful for Jay-Z, I'm grateful for Debbie, whatever. Like now this is a ritual, not just a fidget.
Yeah. Or
Yep.
watching the smoke.
Okay, you're supposed to give stuff up to God, like with the smoke goes up, right?
Mm-hmm. Or you could be like, I am connecting with the hearth goddesses. I am fire.
Yeah. I love the hearth goddesses.
Mm-hmm.
So how can Jay-Z ritualize brushing his teeth?
I mean,
Or any of us?
Yeah. Interestingly, like, so as far as like I don't think I'm very routine about brushing my teeth. I don't do it at the same time every day. Sometimes I like forget to brush my teeth. I mean, I have to like remind myself to brush my teeth, but I also am an anxious person. And so a counselor once gave me advice, like when I am feeling overwhelmed with emotion, like go brush my teeth as like a remedy, because then you kind of forget also, similar to what like Jay-Z was saying about like not letting your mind wander or using it as a meditative practice. Like I could see turning into just brushing your teeth every day to be a way to like calm the mind or the emotions of the physical body. But that would be a way.
Yeah, and I consider brushing my teeth part of my going to bed ritual, because I go into my room and then it's cold here now and I don't heat that part of the house. So I have an electric blanket. So I turn on the electric blanket so it will start to preheat the bed. And then I go and I brush my teeth. And then I have an app that I turn off all the lights. Like I do a certain thing in certain order every single night before I go to bed. I have like a total going to bed ritual.
I
That's
have
the
that
routine.
Yeah, I do too. I have a whole ritual. I guess I'm going to be starting to call it a ritual then.
Well,
Thank you, Jay-Z.
I feel like Pisces calls things rituals that our Virgo would call routines. 'Cause
Yeah.
There you go.
like
There you
if
go.
you spiritualize every routine you have, then you have just rituals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's so Pisces. Like, is everything under the sun a ritual?
Yeah. I think yeah.
Why?
Because we're super engaged and like very like I'm in a place of gratitude in these meetings because I'm like, this is so cool. I'm so fortunate to be in this. My kids are being quiet. What a gift. Like there's so much to be grateful for.
So gratitude turns just a regular thing into a ritual.
Yeah. Like when you're brushing your teeth, if you're like, I'm so grateful for my body. Look at these little teeth that help me with my food.
Yeah. Okay. It is a ritual. Thank you.
Can
Because I do all of that. I do, but I think of it as a routine because I do it so methodically every day. Like, but you do that too. Okay, I get that. I get it.
Can smoking crack or doing meth be a ritual? I'm not being comedic. I'm actually asking because it's detrimental to the human body, but it's very like reverent to people who do it. Like they like turn their drug into a god. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been there, so I know. But what do you guys think?
I definitely think yes. Like
Oh, absolutely. I agree.
in the sense of too that like when you're in that frame of mind and very far down the path, everything's a little bit scattered until you are engaging in that ritual too. It brings you to that moment. Like you are very much fully focused on your drug of choice in that moment. Nothing else matters. Like, so it becomes this moment of gratitude for maybe the wrong thing. I'm putting that in quotes, but you're in a space of complete mindfulness too. Moving through it.
Yeah, especially as you get out your works or your kit or whatever, and you like put the things. Well, I don't know if anybody else is this way, but like put the things in a certain order, or you have a certain way to lay things out or whatever. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And a lot of meth users use it for like chemsex, sexual gratification, and like sex magic. And so, yeah, I think that there's a lot of intention in that. Like, that is the reason that I'm going to use meth right now with to get off.
Well, and I feel like drugs are so ritualistic because there's a magical element to it. Like, when I was using beer, weed, and cigarettes, it was like I was trying to make life magical through the use of those chemicals. And that is ritualistic. It was like I don't know, like the day's mundane, but now if I have some weed, things will be magical again. And I think that is what defines rituals. It's like a mystical element to the thing, right? And that's why quitting those things, the replacement is a higher power in some ways, because you have to learn to magicalize life without those things. Like you just need to ritualize everything that you're doing, and then it becomes your drug of choice. Now beads are my drug of choice.
Yeah, you just substitute. It's not like you, I don't know, you give
You
up
have to
the things and
magicalize
then you
the
have-
new thing. Like
Yeah.
it's like we're not taught that beads are magical. We're taught that drugs are magical. It's like conditioning and advertising that teaches you that the drug is going to induce magical states.
Mhm.
I think something that also contributes to the ritual of it is the lead up. Because I know when I'm in my on smoking phases, I'm always like, but at the end of the day, I get to smoke. Like it's very like dangling the carrot, and it's almost a ritual to look forward to. You know, the whole like you always chase the first, like it's never as good as the first time. So it's almost like the buildup becomes part of, or even more importantly, the ritual, because you feel very much in your body, in your mind, the anticipation.
I think the real drug is anticipation because because actually one of the reasons we do so much content is like I anticipate like every show. I'm like all day long I was like, oh man, I can't wait for everything under the sun, and then like I can't wait to go to Michael's after this. Like but like one of the fixes of addiction is planning. It's like you plan for your day, then you anticipate the day, then you act out the plan, and it's that anticipation that turns it into this like drug. And so I think you're absolutely right, anticipation.
Patrick said something similar. He said there was a study many years ago that found that heroin addicts that were not able to go through their regular personal prep process did not feel the same high when just given a prepared syringe.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's the dopamine drops, right? That's what it is too. I think they've scientifically proven that too. It's like you were saying, Andy, when you think about the thing that's gonna happen, you start getting the dopamine drops then.
That's like so true. It's the fidget that becomes spiritualized that makes it a ritual, right? Like when I'm done fidgeting with this thing, I will see God through my heroin. That is why it's a ritual.
What about the anticipation of things like events or trips and stuff? Like when people are like, oh, the buildup is sometimes better than actually doing it, you know?
That's when you eat more because it's like, it's a vacation. There's no calories or anything. I did the same thing with wine. I was drinking wine every night, but it was because I felt like I was Julia Child when I was in the kitchen. I would like have a glass of wine while I was cooking dinner, and I'd be dancing around and drinking my wine. And yeah, this is going to be a magnificent dinner. Yes, we're having pasta and butter. Okay, but it's going to be amazing. And, and then when I got my diagnosis, I'm like, okay, I got to cut down on it. And you can, if the anticipation changes, where you think, okay, my health is more important than me feeling like Julia Child in the kitchen, so that you change that up. So I pulled that back. And it's like it's much better that way. Much better. I'll have green tea instead. It's very sophisticated.
He's up.
Makes you feel like a monk in the kitchen.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Oh, yes, I hear the chanting now. Yes.
Anything else about routine versus ritual? All right, Jenna, do you want to go to the third one? I think 3 is enough for one. Oh, what is your favorite aspect?
Or do we want to talk about the spur of the moment one where we said what random thing do we add?
Okay, let's do that.
What was the question?
What rando things do you put in a chart when you're looking for some rationalization?
Like, what do you add after the 9 planets or the luminaries and the regular planets up to Pluto?
Sometimes it's an aspect. Like if I see somebody who has like they want to be an artist, and but they haven't gone in that direction, and then I see a lot of quintiles in their chart. Oh, well, let me go follow this out. sometimes it's intuitive. Sometimes there's things where, like if somebody's struggling, I got to think about this, but like if it's finances, I'm going to look at their second house. If it's not matching up, I got to find something that is going to make sense, so I might go to the Arabic parts, just to check it out. Or I may go look at some asteroids or whatever, whatever it is. I'm going to look at midpoints. I'm going to look at everything that makes sense, that puts it together. And most times I will have an aha moment. I'm like, this is it. I have different techniques that I use too. Like if I see a progressed moon and it's like it's like 29 degrees at something and it's hitting something in their chart, I want to see what's going to happen when or even like if it's something like Mars and it's right there, because the moon moves a little faster. But if you put that in there and so I progress that chart to when it's going to be exactly 0 that next sign. And then I will take the transit of that. And I'm telling you, that is magical. That stuff works so well.
The transit of the
progress that with the
the
adjusted progression. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So then I'll look at the transit on that day of when that actually happens. And it's magical. It's so weird. But it works so every time.
I love that you use transits with progressions, because I was taught not to do that, but I was like, no, this speaks to me. So yay.
Well, I'm kind of a renegade anyway, But the thing is that if it works, it works.
Exactly. Yeah.
If it works, it works. People, how many people do you know? They ask you about Andy. People ask you about what about orbs? What about orbs? Mm-hmm. What can you say about orbs? Everybody has a different opinion about orbs.
I have a lot to say about orbs.
Yes.
You want me to talk about orbs? Well, first of all, the closer the better, in as much as like the more tighter the aspect of personality. But I always talk about orbs in terms of timing. Like if you run the moon over an aspect, how long does it take for that aspect of personality to emerge? So if it's a 6-degree orb, I would say that's a 12-degree or 12-hour conjunction. Like it's 2 planets within 6 degrees. Well, it takes the moon 12 hours to hit them both. So that's a 12-hour aspect of personality. So it's like, I don't just look at it as like, is it an orb or is it not an orb? What does the orb tell us about how the personality unfolds?
I love that you do that. It's about the timing and everything, because I know there are people who are like super duper. They're like, they're superstars. And I know one person, it doesn't make a difference as long as it's in the same sign. That's okay. It could be 20 degrees apart. It's a conjunction.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like the Hellenists say, like it's in the same sign. It's conjunct by sign or by domicile or whatever. But like, that's why I think the regular orbit's 8 degrees, because it takes 16 hours to unveil that. That's how many hours we spend in a waking day. Like if you were one, after you get past 8, then you're like, you go to sleep and you're not really in that aspect of personality anymore. But yeah. I mean, they are in the same body system if they're in the same sign, but they're not being expressed on the same day.
Oh, yeah, it's the same thing as when you have out of sign conjunctions. They're two degrees apart, and they're in 2 different. You can't say, well, no, they're not. They're conjunct. They're conjunct.
They're conjunct. It's different though. They flip down body systems. They go down densities of matter in their unveilment. But yeah, I mean, they are rhythmically a conjunction by timing, but they also do splay through different body systems, which I think or different houses. You know what I mean? Which does change the aspect.
I like to adjust orbs with the speed too. Like right now, Neptune is all but stationed in the sky. So to me, it's kind of like when you have a pen or a marker and you're dragging it across the paper and you slow down to change direction and it starts bleeding out. Like I'm like the orb is bleeding out, like it's more potent right now.
Yeah.
You guys use a lot. Do you guys use the lots?
Yeah.
Yeah, somewhat.
Yeah. If there's a good connection and if it makes sense for whatever the client is asking about, yeah, I use them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a funny story about this. So when I was when I went to Kepler, do you guys know Kenneth Miller? Anyone?
Yeah.
Okay, he's a Vedic astrologer. Anyway, when we were at Kepler, we were always laughing about like all the stuff people put on charts, like the trans-Neptunians and asteroids. And he's like, all right, I'm going to do the Poseidon truth reading. And he's like, what I do is I just look for only where your Poseidon is to tell you what the truth is, because like Poseidon's like associated with the truth. So he's like, first, he's like, let me put all the asteroids on here. And he like presses a button, and there's like thousands of asteroids, and you can't even see the chart anymore. He's like, but now watch, I'm just going to look at your Poseidon. And he presses another button. It's just Poseidon. He's like, here's the truth, right? It just was so, it was so comical.
I use Poseidon.
Oh my God. You probably talked to Poseidon. Oh my God. Should we play She Talks?
I have to
right
use
now?
Poseidon. He's my original best god friend.
Wait,
So-
which ritual do you do by talking to Poseidon? Which thing do you do while you talk to Poseidon?
We talk whenever he kind of shows up. Like, I don't even have a ritual around it other than like I breathe deep. Okay, here's a ritual actually. I take a really deep breath in and I remember being at Poseidon's temple, which is in the background of this thing, the photo I took, and his energy and his presence just comes in. And depending what attitude he kind of has in that moment, like I'll talk to him about something or ask him for something or say like, can I have some guidance on this or whatever? And I can tell by his demeanor, like which way it's going to go. But yeah, he's very, he can be very aggressive. So I call on him when I know I'm able to handle it. So
Maybe while you're working out, watching Ultimate Fighting.
actually, that's a good point. He's often at the gym with me. That is true. He's not one that I pull in other people's charts often. Usually it's only in a synastry way because I'm like, what is Poseidon trying to tell me about you? And then I'll look at their chart and find their Poseidon and be like, oh, that's interesting advice. Like whatever it is that comes through based on how their Poseidon interacts in my chart.
Interesting. Hey, for next week, do you guys want to each bring a topic, and so we can have a random content generator where we each bring one topic?
Okay.
What do you think, Laurel? Would you bring a topic?
Yeah, I will.
Jenna, does that sound fun?
I love that. And I was thinking if we have like 5 people, we can bring a 5-sided dice. We each got a number.
Oh,
Ooh,
nice.
random.
Yeah, I like the random content generation of everything under the sun, because then we don't know what we will be talking about. Kim, how are you feeling?
Not good.
What happened to you?
Well, I was hoping to hear something about. I'm probably late, but Uranus conjunct the moon.
Hmm.
I think
That
it
just
is.
happened yesterday, huh?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Yeah, I have a mass in my esophagus and it's cancer, so we're getting ready to deal with that. What's really funny is about my chart. My poor old Mercury is so beat up.
Oh yeah, you got that T-square with more. I'm so sorry to hear that.
It's all right. We'll make it. Because
Yeah.
I told the doctor today, I says in astrology, the thing that rules the liver is Jupiter, and I said Jupiter's in my death house, so it won't be anything to do with this esophagus.
I love that attitude.
I love
I like
that.
that attitude.
Yeah.
I hope you make a ritual out of going to the doctor.
Yeah, but yeah, I last the guy that put you to sleep. I said, "Okay, dream catcher, let's go."
Oh my God, you must be the best patient to have. Okay, I'm sorry. I have to shut the room down at 6:30 because I gotta get to Fisherman's by 7. But hey, you guys, thank you so much. Jenna, thank you for all the topics. You were the topic queen
Thank
today.
you.
Everyone bring your random content topics next week. We won't know what to expect. It'll be crazy. Kim,
Okay.
keep hanging on, all right? We'll see you next week. Bye, Patrick.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.
Take a